Yes, yes. Haha. Yes, yes, yes. Haha. Man, you know I'm feeling it today. Ladies, turn the volume up. Haha. Oh, God. It's a balloon party driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota. My name is Timothy Michael McKernan. St. Gabriel's class of 90, St. Louis University High School class of 1994, University of Missouri Journalism School TBD. That's Action Jackson. What are your credentials?
We'll do Horton Watkins, class of 2016.
Nice.
University of Missouri, class of 2020. Hello, everyone.
Jackson, well, they're...
What? We just started.
Piddles, go home.
Okay. Is that on the table?
Then the next one is you're 5 minutes late. That's from the 314.
Or you're 5 minutes early.
And then from the 618, can't wait for a full hour of Piddles breaking down the Damian Lillard trade and the effect it has on every other team in the NBA. Yawn!
I didn't even get a chance to speak about it. I haven't opened my mouth about the trade.
Did you do a podcast last night? Did you go on StreamYard?
No, BK and Ferrario, they were live during BK and Ferrario's show when it happened, and they brought Rock on and not me. And to me...
Wow, a little tension in the building now.
That was a clear shot.
But you and Marsh went and watched women's soccer together and didn't invite Tanner, so maybe this is retribution.
It was the Men's World Cup. That's just nonsense. It was the Men's World Cup, and that had nothing to do with the situation. They brought Rock in. And listen, I love Matt Rocchio. But
you feel like if you've got Woj in the building, you go to Woj.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, Rocchio is a very intelligent person. He speaks eloquently. He loves the association, as do I. So I get it. But if you want to talk hoop rock, yeah, you talk to the Godfather himself.
Now, I noticed that 101 ESPN, when it was promoting, the upcoming Blues season, the voice of the Blues television broadcasts, along with John Kelly, Jamie Rivers, is on the roster.
Yeah.
But yet, 101 ESPN used you as the face of the Blues.
Fan of the week.
101 ESPN fan of the week.
Well, when you think hockey fandom, you think Piddles.
Okay.
And so it's more like a Pavlov's dog situation. You're like, you see Jackson, you're like, oh, I think Blues hockey.
Okay, I get it. But now you're also saying they should call you in for association talk.
Yeah, I mean, like, once every quarter the NBA is discussed, and the opportunity came and I couldn't do it. That really, I mean,
you should have just gone live from your phone on
Instagram Live.
Would have been great. God, if that would have popped up in my feed, I would have gone, what in the hell is this?
Yeah, that doesn't sound like something I'd like to do.
This audience is a bunch of mama's boys from daddy's money, stemming from Ladue and Chesterfield, and then Columbia and Waterloo on the hillside. That's from Brad. So shut it on the NBA talk, boy. I know it's coming. That's from Brad.
I didn't follow any of that. What about Waterloo? I don't get it.
Ladue and Chesterfield, he's saying, are a bunch of mama's boys from daddy's money, stemming from Ladue and Chesterfield on this side, the west side of the Mississippi, the old man, the old miss. Oh, yeah. And then Columbia and Waterloo on the ill side. No, I never knew that those were considered the moneyed communities on the ill side.
Really? I love going to Columbia.
I'm just saying I didn't know that. Like, if you're talking about money in St. Louis, you know what municipality I'm talking about?
Yeah, we'll do.
Huntley.
That too. Frontenac. The Great Triangle.
I would say Huntley's probably...
Well, yeah, but that's like one neighborhood.
Yeah, still.
Oh, yeah, you're going to catch me saying anything different. But I think like...
But I didn't know that Columbia, Illinois, and Waterloo, I didn't know that that's apparently daddy's money, mama's boys. I didn't know it. I don't think
that's the case, though. I'm going to have to push back.
Lisa, who you say is a gem, says Edwardsville.
Yeah, Edwardsville is a lot of money. Fairview Heights, Belleville,
I'm a grape ape auto detailing lemming, as you know.
Yeah.
And he says, damn it, Piddles, just damn it. How many freaking Dame takes are we going to get today? God help us.
I haven't said one thing about this.
You're complaining that you weren't called in on BK and Ferrario.
It's only by far the biggest story in sports right now. God forbid someone talk about it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Guess you're ignoring Missouri Vanderbilt.
I won't ignore it. Saturday at 3. Be locked in.
Go.
But right now...
Tiger. Beat. Commodore. Go Tiger. Beat Commodore. Go fight. Win. Tiger. Swansea, Illinois is the money, guys. It's in the 618.
Yeah. Swansea's a wealthy area.
Is it?
Sure. My father was a teacher, principal there for a long time.
Hey, Coach. Who's Coach?
Not me.
It was hurtful as a loyal listener and Piddles devotee that BK, and I'm quoting, brought in Rock to discuss the trade because, quote, Rock is our resident NBA guru at this station. I love Rock, but that's from UPS Tony.
That's what they said? Oh, man.
Wow, we've got 10 shades. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1980s. It's time for hashtag Radio Wars. Unreal. Who are we mad at?
It's unreal. Listen, I just hope their apology is as loud as their disrespect.
Wow. Who are you ripping off there?
I couldn't even get that sentence out with a straight face.
Text in, as many of you already decided to begin doing, 314-399-9646. Oh, I'm not in the YouTube chat yet. I got to see what's going on. You can watch us on YouTube. I'm wearing a shade of blue that matches my oceanic eyes. More Pacific Ocean. Atlantic's a little...
Ooh.
Yeah, get involved. What do we have today on the program, Jackson?
Lil Piddles Half and Half.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, a little half and half action. Obviously, deep dive requests are always welcome. We like when the audience gets involved. We like to engage with the audience during our 1 hour magic. That is Balloon Party, DBA, Honesty in Media. But I've also prepared 6 tasty little questions for you.
I know I probably am due for a break if I ran an HD1 program properly, but I don't. And therefore, I want a morsel from your half and half presented by the wonderful people at Angry Beaver, where mentioning Piddles gets you $5 off a pizza right down there by Busch Stadium. So go ahead and give me question.
Oh, just a little morsel you want, Tim?
Sure.
Just a
so you're going to reorder? You're not going to go with question 1 here?
No, because I'm not going to give you a question that you could really pontificate on if we're going to be running up against.
Pontificate has a negative connotation.
Does it really?
Yeah. Pontificate is something you're doing if you're talking down to people, and I just never do that.
Right, never. Okay. Just talk about eloquently.
Nice.
All right. Yes. All right. Oh, so many options.
Delay tactic.
No, but I had all these are like big picture questions. Okay, I'll ask this one. God. And we talked about Dame and we talked about Giannis.
Exhausting.
Here we go. No. Dame is headed to Milwaukee to team up with you.
Oh my God, you're doing it.
But I'm not. But that's
you're
not what
like a live troll. You're like I'm doing a show with a dog avatar.
You gotta let me finish, baby. I'm gonna get you home. Dame is headed to Milwaukee to team up with Giannis. What a dynamic duo it will be. And one could argue they're the best 1-2 punch in basketball. Who are the other best dynamic duos in the other 3 major American sports?
Okay. You're right. I needed to listen. What a great lesson for us all.
It was.
The other dynamic duos in the 3 other major sports.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we can go with the St. Louis Chiefs that play in Kansas City. The obvious there. God, baseball. Is it Trout Ohtani? But they never win.
Yeah, I know. It could be like Acuna Albies.
Yeah, it's like, who do you put with Acuna, though? You know, because I want to go with him.
Right. Ozzy Albies probably, but that's not. Yeah.
Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That just shows you it doesn't have the Q rating of Mahomes Kelsey.
It doesn't. It doesn't at all. I'm trying to like pair up a pitcher with somebody, but like all these like studs play for teams that are either in like last place or not going to make the playoffs. Hockey, I'm going to give mine for hockey.
Oh my God.
Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl.
I got to tell you. I was actually thinking that.
That's the first thing.
Did you like text Jamie Rivers before the show?
No. I was also thinking Nathan McKernan and who's the other guy?
There we go. That's more the brand.
Cole Kmet or whatever his name is.
The Bears tight end.
It's something like that. It's like Kale. His name's Kale or something.
No. You were right the first time when you listed Chicago Bears tight end Cole Kmet.
Yeah. Well, I got Nathan McKernan right. I can't remember the guy who plays.
McCarr.
Okay. Yeah. Kale McCarr.
Right.
All right.
I mean, you can't claim a win when you listed the Bears tight end. You just can't.
People knew.
Boy, they're not happy about that in the YouTube chat.
What did I say?
You gave the Bears tight end when you were listing the Avalanche dynamic duo.
Were you under an overpass when I said Draisaitl and Gretzky?
We're now on a station where an overpass doesn't matter.
Is that right?
Yeah.
How do you like us now?
Wow, somebody doesn't listen to 101 ESPN. That was a big reveal right there.
I don't drive under...
That's Jamie Rivers music!
I don't drive under overpasses. That's the reason.
Ledoux doesn't have any?
Well, I have an overpass, like a scanner thing. Just gets me right over it.
Cal McCarr, you pale bitch! It's from the 314.
Nice. Yeah. No, I get that. I get it now. I was close. Cole Kmet, Cale Makar.
Cunha and Olsen's a nice play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice play.
Yeah, but is that the best in baseball?
At the moment, it is.
Yeah.
I think at the moment, it is. I think Q rating-wise, and when I say Q rating, most recognizable, it'll be Trout Ohtani.
Sure. Yeah, or Judge and Stanton.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like a couple of years ago when Stanton was still Stanton in 2023, Alan Craig 2013. Think about it.
Newt Bar Edman.
You got to, stand when Aaron Miles comes back for 5 minutes and say, look at us. You have that opinion.
Yeah, it's actually Aaron Miles and Skip.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Bo Hart, hard worker.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm surprised Piddles didn't say Petro and McDavid.
Right. No.
Well done. Are we giving anything away?
No. Ryder shook his head vehemently.
Guys, Olsen has 50 home runs. They might get to 100 between them. That's from the 5-4-1. That's probably the nice play. But again, I think this gentleman would agree that as far as recognizability, even in as dominant as they are, I don't know how many people were kind of casual observers of the game.
Right.
If you said Ohtani Trout, that would be the recognizable. But yes, from an on-field performance in the moment, that would be the right answer. I like the question.
Thank you.
And what it did is it got everybody's dander up going, oh, here we go.
Right.
He's going to NBA us. He's going to Dame time us.
Well, that's like...
What percentage of the audience do you think even knows about this trade? On this audience?
75%.
No way.
You literally have to be living under a rock.
No way.
You would have to be living under a rock.
No way. God, I wish I could prove this because I would drain your bank account right now.
No, I think I'm actually being low.
You are out of your mind if you think 75% of the 101 ESPN audience in St. Louis knows about the Dame time trade.
It's the biggest move in
I understand that. It's like if I go Ryder Cup tomorrow, people don't know it's the Ryder Cup. Well, for me, it's a huge deal. But
basketball is a lot more popular than golf.
I also understand that, but I'm trying to convey it through. I know you love the association. Now, if you were to say sports fans around the United States, then I would be up around your number.
Okay.
The 101 ESPN audience, I am shorting 75%. I would short 50%.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
You're nuts. No way.
You might not like the facts, but that doesn't mean that they aren't true. Welcome to political news coverage.
If you have a Twitter account, you know what happened. It's all over the place.
Do you think that's a...
I think 50% have a Twitter account.
Yeah, but then you got to be following accounts that are tweeting out about the NBA.
ESPN? I don't know.
Probably people mute them when the WNBA playoffs go on.
That's their loss. Shout out to the Aces.
I can't wait for the rest of these 5 questions with the momentum we have off of that one and the inevitable everything will tie into this trade. Every question. Orlowski, his question today, I'm sorry, I just can't get enough of him, was Cowboys lost to Cardinals a bad sign? And that is what he is pontificating. Was it a good sign? No. He is saying it was a bad sign. What an effing industry. All right, we got a break. This is Balloon Party, driven by Mungan S. St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota on 101 ESPN.
Hey, if you're sick of having slow internet that doesn't reach every nook and cranny of your house, then I'm here to introduce you to Whisper. Whisper is the rural internet provider for you. They have no hidden fees, no contracts, and high speeds, all for a low cost. Plus, they have first-class customer service that'll help you set up and answer any questions along the way. How about a little customer review? I got one right here. We have Whisper at our home, and the service is tremendous. We have very fast speeds, and we cut the cord and stream 100% of content via Whisper. Our daughter's a gamer and uses her Xbox as we stream 2 TVs of content at the same time, and there's no buffering. We rarely have to call customer service. When we do, they're quick to respond. I appreciate having someone available on the weekend to take tech calls, great company, and I would highly recommend them. Whisper is also offering free installation right now to the end of September. Their amazing customer support team will come out and help you set up your internet so you don't have to worry. Go to whisperisp.com right now to learn more and get free installation. That's Whisper, without an H, isp.com.
Well, breaking news. You know, Jackson, I know this may have been before your time, but on NBC, maybe once a quarter, back in the 80s and 90s, they had something called the Saturday Night Main Event. And there was a moment when Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man Savage, what a dynamic tag team they were, broke up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was an insinuation that Hulk Hogan was cucking Randy, the Macho Man Savage, over the lovely Miss Elizabeth. And that broke him up.
Oh, no.
I'm sure those who were looking forward to Saturday Night Live always looked forward to when they'd flip over and see this. And that was an example of two titans in the industry breaking up.
Yeah.
Well, here today, on September 28th, 2023, on 101 ESPN and on YouTube, on the Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota Balloon Party, Jackson, we have two titans of the industry perhaps joining forces.
Ooh.
Of course, one of them is you.
Yes.
And the other one, Jamie Rivers.
No way. It's my guy.
Jamie Rivers texted me, McDavid and Draisaitl hockey, and then seconds later, I didn't say it. Mike Ryder didn't have to come in and issue an apology to the audience to say it. You, Jackson Burkett, the people call you Piddles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do they call you now?
Yeah, Peter Puck. That's what they should be calling me.
Jamie Rivers said, wow, Piddles.
Yeah, I came
it's
to
like
play.
You're all grown up and you're all grown up and you're all grown up. Jamie Rivers is Vince Vaughn at the diner and you're John Favreau. Fine, I'll ask. Where do the high school girls hang out? I'll ask. That's exactly right.
Yeah, you know what? I came to play for keeps today. And
I noticed that.
And I'll be off.
And you're off tomorrow, so I feel like today's your Friday.
Yeah.
You kind of know that they're thinking about moving Rockio in here. Rockio already took your spot yesterday.
Yeah, that.
So you kind of want to show everybody, hey, I realize, I know what's going on behind the scenes around this building.
Yeah.
So before I go on my vacation to upstate Illinois,
scenic,
I'm going to dunk on y'all today.
That's right. Yeah, this is kind of a message to all my detractors that you should have let the sleeping dog lie. Wow. Because he's hungry.
And now you've got an alliance with Jamie Rivers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just one little arrow in my quiver. I got plenty. So if you want it, keep coming because I can come right on back.
Did somebody tell you Connor McDavid and Draisaitl?
No, I have a weird memory. And so...
Then why do you think Pietrangelo plays with those guys?
Well, I was kind of... people were forcing me off the scent of that one.
When you say people, it's very passive-aggressive because there's only one person, and it was me. We're in here with texters. We have Brad Thompson's cardboard cutout, but it doesn't talk.
Yeah, good little cardboard cutout, too.
It is.
BT. I'm jealous of his hair. But, it's you. It was you and then the texters, too. But I was almost positive.
You and the texters, too.
That's right. I wish we could title the show that. But either way... I have a weird memory, and when we would do So What'd Your Grandma Think, one of them was from Leon Draisaitl.
That's correct. One of the very first ones.
Yeah, and I just remember that because I had to really work to figure out how to pronounce that name. And then once I did, it never left my memory, and I remember he played for the Oilers. And I know Connor McDavid plays for the Oilers.
Nice. Yeah, that's a brag.
Yeah, because even though I don't watch hockey, I know of, the biggest things that go on in hockey, the big major things. So.
Now I feel like you're trying to bring it back to Dame time. And the trade. Sassy Piddles is the best Piddles. That's from the 314. Yeah. I have a feeling you're coming at me with that take, Piddles. That's from the Grape Ape Auto Detailing. And I, of course, am a Grape Ape Auto Detailing. That's who's my ally, Grape Ape Auto Detailing.
It's one hell of a squad you've built.
Just at the last segment, this guy said Cole Kmet was on the Avalanche.
Yeah, it's tough for me to really high step into the end zone after that.
Yeah, I was waiting. Maybe that's what Jamie Rivers was making reference to.
I mean... Cale Makar, Cole Kmet.
Right.
I just mixed them up right there.
Well, I'm sure a lot of hockey broadcasters do. Jamie's going to have to navigate that when the Blues play the
and that's the thing. They get little sheets that gives all the players' names.
Or they just know it.
I'm out here free rolling.
Styling.
That's right. Bingo, Tim.
Do we have another question in today's Half and Half, which is presented by the wonderful people at the Angry Beaver?
Yeah, mention Piddles and get $5 off any pizza. How do you like us now? We know this offseason is extremely pivotal for the St. Louis baseball Cardinals, but how pivotal is it from a baseball media side perspective? Rob Manfred talked with Andrew Marchand yesterday, and they talked about opportunities going forward for MLB to increase their digital footprint, maybe a little hybrid situation going on. How important is it for the MLB to get a handle on their media landscape after the less than desirable ratings to close out the regular season?
If it's a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 10. And that podcast, which I was looking forward to listening to, I listened to Marchand and Oran. Sports business podcast every week, and I haven't listened to it yet because I was listening to Reese Davis and Pete Thamel's college football podcast this morning driving here to Hubbard Radio in St. Louis, Missouri. And then we played some of the clips from it, and it sounds like Rob Manfred is playing the role of Quinn Snyder in the early 2000s at Columbia, Missouri. He's saying a bunch of stuff, but he's not answering the questions.
Yeah.
And you have listened to the entirety of it, and you said that is the overall tenor. Biggest piece of news you got from it is what?
Yeah, I listened to most of it. I don't want to say I listened to all of it, but I listened to most of it, and the biggest piece I saw was the priority number 1 going forward is eliminating blackouts.
Okay, it's fine, but people still need to be able to access the games.
100%.
And for that to not be the case at the moment, for anybody who wants to, who pays for television, is a monster problem. And I know that they're going to do something about it, but it really was disconcerting to hear some of those sound bites. And honestly, I'm saving everybody time. We only have an hour anyway, but I'm saving everybody time by not playing them because trust me, they were nothings.
Yeah,
They were absolute nothings. There was nothing there. And I guess that's because most of the teams still are okay with their situation. They're going to go, okay, yeah, the deals may run out, and Bally's or Sinclair, Diamond Sports, or whoever it is going to run out of money at some point. But while they're paying us, we're not going to mess with this. Why? Because the moment they stop, we know that the total revenue we're receiving right now will actually be less than what we will receive with whatever new world order we start up.
Yeah.
And that is why I don't think you see a change. If they thought they could make more money with whatever new platform distribution strategy they would implement, then they would bail on this now, because certainly Diamond Sports, Bally's, Sinclair, whomever, is giving them the out. But they're not. Why? Because I believe they know that they're not going to make more than they're currently making with this current outdated structure. So that is a concern if you are a market like the Cardinals, which gets a great television deal. And other organizations that certainly, like the Cardinals, rely on those television deals. I'm telling you, the San Diego Padres, that's a situation.
Yeah.
You know, the Yankees, Red Sox, and Padres spent a combined $800 million on their payrolls this year.
That's crazy.
None of which will be playing postseason games, barring a mathematical phenomenon in San Diego, because they are technically still alive. But I think the Marlins, Diamondbacks, Cubs, Reds have to lose every single game they play, which is a lot when you consider all of the teams.
Sure.
And then the Padres have to win every single game they have left. Point being, they're probably done, and they're not going to be in. But the Padres, unlike the Yankees and Red Sox, don't have the market size viability that those do. San Diego is actually a smaller market than St. Louis. So that is something over the next 5 years. Hey, man, they took their shot, but it did not lead to even a pennant. Got him to the NLCS, but Bryce Harper took him on out. All right, it is 10:31 in St. Louis. That time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers. You miss anything, you can podcast it via the Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers podcast. Text in to our show, 314-399-9646. Angry Beaver sponsors the Lil Piddles Half and Half. You are welcome to partake by texting in or leaving a mic drop on the 101 ESPN app. You are listening to Balloon Party, driven by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota on 101 ESPN and on YouTube.
The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is coming to Illinois. That's right. I'm talking about the Circa Sports app. It's betting the way it should be. Big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service. The Circa Sports app in Illinois is coming soon. Now, when I was out in Las Vegas, I was using that Circa Sports app, and what I love is those tight money lines. Those money lines, they try to strive to get there minus 110. Circa wants you to get that minus 110. They don't want to do that minus 120 or minus 115 like some other books. That's not what Circa's about. It's gambling the way it should be. They hold a lot of that money. And if you need to talk to their customer service, they have a world-class customer service, because it's the same people that run the Circa Sportsbook at the Circa Resort in Las Vegas. So visit circasports.com for more details. Get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-324. This is Action Jackson with a SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals lose yesterday. Final score of 3-2 to the Milwaukee Brewers. They will play their final road game today at 3:10 p.m. against the Milwaukee Brewers. Again, first pitch at 3:10 p.m. And in major blockbusting NBA trade news, the Bucks will receive Damian Lillard, while the Blazers will get Drew Holiday and DeAndre Ayton, along with a 2029 first-round pick from Milwaukee and a pick swap. And the Suns receive Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and Grayson Allen. That's all according to Shams Charania. That was another SportsCenter update driven by Johnny Londoff. Find new roads and shop 24/7 at Londoff.com and LondoffAutoplex.com. Are you kidding me?
Shams Charania shout out in the SportsCenter update.
Always love to give Shams a shout out. I might be Team Shams over Woj.
Are you Team Shams or Team Woj? Text in 314-399-9646. It's your Comfort Service text line. We're in the midst of the Lil Piddles Thursday Half and Half, presented by the wonderful people at Angry Beaver. And we've gotten through 2 questions. Well, you know where I am. You now have an alliance with Jamie Rivers after the Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. Stunning. I mean, God, I would have 100-1. I would have given out on that. I think Jamie Rivers is done, and now you have an alliance. I, of course, am in an alliance with the Grape Ape Auto Detailing.
Yeah, I like my team better.
Wow. Says in this now. I was about to read a compliment that included you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
By the way, boys, I'm not working today, and I turned on your show all from home. That is how much I like your show. You both, even you Piddles, do a great job.
Thank you so much. That is really sweet.
Look at that. Are you becoming a Grape Ape Auto Detailing?
I'm sweetening. Nice. I'm certainly not souring. I'm sweetening.
You're sweetening on the whole thing.
Yeah.
This is in reference to my assessment. Some people really did disagree with me that 75% of people listening to this station, you said 75% of the people listening to 101 ESPN know about the Dame time trade.
Yeah, maybe not every player going, but Dame going to the Bucks.
Right. This isn't that observation is not a commentary on the knowledge of St. Louis sports fans at all. It's just it's straight numbers, and of course it's arbitrary. I mean, but in the person's Tim, people know more than you think they know about what's going on in sports here in St. Louis. I would agree with that. I would actually say St. Louis has to be one of the most knowledgeable sports markets, in part because of the passion for sports.
God, there's so much meat on that one.
I also feel confident. Very confident. And God, I wish there was a way to bet this.
I know.
Because you would bet it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would.
I mean, I'd be up against your trust fund.
And that's something you don't want to go up against unless you're pretty confident.
So, I mean, you're coming at it with more numbers than me.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. That again, 75% of the 101 ESPN audience is not aware of it. That's not a shot at anybody, you know? Mm-hmm. It's just, that is the number.
Right.
In my opinion.
Right, yeah. However, yeah. No, it's I get it. It's your opinion.
75% of sports fans? My God, I would say 90+% of sports fans, if I was like sports fans. I think 101 ESPN listeners in St. Louis, I feel comfortable with that. Very comfortable with that. And it's not an insult. It's just you kind of know what it is.
Here's my thought.
I love Missouri football.
Yeah.
But I also know that it just doesn't have, at the moment, the same kind of traction that my love has as far as my interest level goes. You know what I mean? Therefore, I tamp it down.
Sure. Here's my thoughts. Had the trade happened Saturday at 1 p.m. or Sunday at 1:30 p.m., then I would agree with you, under 75%. But because it happened on a Wednesday midday where not much is going on, it became the story. And I think if you even are extremely casual with basketball or don't watch it all, but follow ESPN or watch ESPN to a slight extent, you found out about it and we're like, okay.
Yeah, this is interesting because I kind of feel like that's more of what a now 47-year-old would say. I just don't think ESPN is as powerful as it was, say, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, for you, it is because you are a big sports fan and you love the association, and they certainly have a lot of association. I mean, I'm looking over your head while Molly Querim and Stephen A. Smith, and I guess he's arguing with Mark Cuban right now.
Is anyone bleeding today?
Yeah, there was some blood on somebody the other day. Molly Querim always has the puzzled look on her face. But they, of course, they're never talking about baseball. Never talking about hockey. So they play what has the most national appeal. The most national appeal is NFL and NBA.
Yeah, second would be the NBA. Yeah,
I don't even know what third is. I feel like I'll see football, but that's only when they like have Feinbaum on.
Yeah,
or something
you're
like
counting football as in like college football.
Mel Tucker's, pleasuring himself on a phone call. Other than that, you don't really have a whole lot of college football unless Feinbaum.
I would say that's third, just because they have so many contracts.
That's where I am.
Yeah, they have so many contracts. But who's the team? What's the league they have the least contracts with? Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
So
how about this? Oh, I guess I got a few more. I'm just used to going, I got a break. So when I catch myself going, I got a break, I got time.
Yeah. Dig in.
Well, go. I'm gonna do it now. You know what I'm gonna do?
Well, I'm settling in.
Yeah, settle in. So Randy Carricker, from my standpoint, is the sports encyclopedia.
Yeah, for real.
And so he was talking about the hell they were catching. He and Rocky were talking about the hell they were catching on opening drive today from the audience. They played Brad Thompson's observations on Wilson Contreras on the opening drive. We talked about it yesterday, and so it led to a big conversation. And so I asked Randy, in his opinion, the 3 worst Cardinal contracts, and we're going to go back to 1995. Usually I go to 2000 because I like to try to keep the youngs in it. And on this one, I got to go back to 1995 because that's where Randy went. So that's kind of a hint.
Yeah.
Where he is on his 3 worst. So what I'm going to do, I'll let them
matriculate.
Perfect. God, you're having a big show.
Yeah, came to play.
You did. I wonder if Rocchio even shows tomorrow.
He was nipping at my heels, and I said, "Oh, here's third gear for you, Rock." And there's more where that came from.
God, you're ready for upstate Illinois.
They better be ready. That's the thing.
The 3 worst Cardinal signings since 1995. Send yours in 314-399-9646. Randy and I are actually in agreement.
Ooh, lockstep.
We are. However, I am open to maybe somebody sends one in and I go, oh, and then maybe I'll text Randy in it and say, hey, what about this one? What about this one? So let's see what the people say. And then I'll tell you what me and Randy are saying.
Sweet. That's a tease.
Now you've been teased. It's all about TSL here on Balloon Party. Time spent listening. As a guy who's done nothing but AM radio and podcasts his entire career, I didn't even know what it meant until last year. Jackson, do you have question 3? Why don't we do that, and then we'll come back. We'll let those texts come in and see what the people are on.
Yeah, this one's kind of fun. You like a Lil Piddles either or? Has it been too long? No worries, I got you.
Are you reading that? That sounded like you were reading that.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you couldn't ad-lib that?
Failing to prepare is preparing to fail, Tim.
Wow. Well, then TMA's been failing for 20 years.
Failing upwards, though.
Yep, true.
Closet. Has it been... Oh, son of a gun. All right. Would you rather...
And in van.
2, 1. Would you rather had the Cardinals traded for Sean Murphy instead of paying Wilson Contreras, but the rest of the offseason remain the same?
Okay.
Or would you rather have everything up to the point be the same, but they acquire Blake Snell and Jordan Montgomery in the offseason? What situation would put the Redbirds in a better position moving forward?
The first question, I understand it and I respect it, and you know where I am when people insert an opinion. You're not inserting an opinion, you're inserting a hypothetical and then build a premise off it. The tough thing on answering that question is, had the Cardinals traded for Sean Murphy, they couldn't have done nothing double negative. They couldn't have remained inactive because they would have then had pieces to fill from trading. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like then there would have been needs to do more.
There's holes in this.
Also, had the Cardinals traded for Sean Murphy, while they most likely would have done what the Braves did, which is extend him, they would have still had a bunch of money, because obviously Contreras got a bunch of money. Now, a good number of that could have gone to Sean Murphy to then go out and acquire pitching. But for the purpose of your question, to entertain your question, while Dan Orlowski is doing the Pee Wee Herman above your head right now, I mean, what is going on in the program? And I'm not talking about in the theater. I'm talking about the dance. That I would say the Cardinals would be better suited to win a championship with what they have now in 2024 with Snell and Montgomery than if it was just Sean Murphy and no one else.
Yeah.
But the way you phrase the question is not realistic. So it's like...
Yeah. You're answering on
something that's not necessarily realistic.
But, so
if I had a full head of hair and were 6'4", an asymmetrical skull, and a non-abrasive personality, would I be in the United States Senate right now? Well, obviously, yes.
Yeah, well, no one can have it all, Tim. But
because I don't have any of those, I'm doing a 1-hour midday show now, and I'm in a closet on HD2 from 7 to 10. And that just shows the importance of the asymmetry, the height, the hairline, and the lack of an abrasive personality. Because there are plenty of people right now in D.C. who would be in a closet on HD2 if they didn't have those things. So you see what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. Sliding doors are going left and right.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
So I tried, because when I made the question, I thought, well, Tim's going to say if they got Sean Murphy.
You knew where I was going.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. I said if they traded for Sean Murphy, there's no way they would have done nothing because they would have had that money they paid for Contreras without having to pay Murphy off right at the rip, so they would have had money. So they would have done something. So I tried to think of who they would have gotten, and ultimately it started to get away from me. I looked at the question, I said, it's going to get away from me, so I'm just going to take that part out of it, and I'll ask it bare bones, knowing that going into it.
I'm truly curious who it would have been. My guess is Carlos Rodon. That's who I think.
That's who I first put in.
I feel like it's been like the guessing game all year of who they like. Yeah. Mosaic will say, the people who were interested got hurt anyway. So was it Quintana? Was it Rodon? I don't know. But so you acknowledge kind of the flaw in the question. But I enjoyed the question. Hey, it's fun. It's fun.
Hypotheticals are always fun.
Hypotheticals are fun.
Yeah.
They're fun. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got. 3 worst Cardinal signings since 1995. Where are the people? Will anybody even give the same 3 that Randy Carricker and I are in lockstep on? We're going to find out. I'm going to go into the Air Comfort Service text line. We'll have those on the other side of the break. You're listening to Balloon Party, driven by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota on 101 ESPN. Jackson, we need more time. Because you know what? While I think most people view me as speaking infallibly.
I would agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Today is a day where I believe for this one day, this one moment, this one question, the audience might know more than me.
No. I won't believe it. I don't want to live in a world where that's the case.
Here was the question. The question was as follows. What are the 3 worst Cardinal signings since 1995? Usually we use 2000 as ours because then we don't want to keep people such as yourself, the 25-year-olds out. Yeah. You know what you are? You are the future.
Thank you.
No problem. I believe the children are our future. Teach them young and let them lead the way. Mr. Randy Watson.
Oh.
And then it was covered by Whitney Houston.
I like Whitney Houston. Rest in peace.
Randy Watson is still with us.
Oh, nice.
Sexual Chocolate. Coming to America, 1988. Good?
Oh, I love Coming to America.
I just wanted to make sure.
The St. John scene especially.
Yeah, very nice. I agree with you. Digressing. We used 1995. And why did we use 1995? Because Randy Carricker and I discussed this as I came in, he was heading out, and I said 3 worst signings the Cardinals have made. And he goes, oh, that's easy. He said Danny Jackson, which was 1995. Tino Martinez and Wilson Contreras.
Wow.
I got him on Tino Martinez. Once I said that, he was, and then he said, oh, and this one. He goes, how can you not be a failure if you go out and you sign it? I'm busting into a character impression unintentionally, too. I'll try to just, how can you go out and say you're signing a catcher and then he becomes an outfielder in the second month and then you put him back? And I go, that's kind of my point, but I understand that, like, in the short term, people go, well, look how well he hit. And I go, I agree. Nobody's disputing that. But hey, friends, you still have him for 4 more years as a DH or corner outfielder now. An occasional catcher, which wasn't the goal.
Corner outfielder.
That's going to be.
Oh, my God, dude. I'm going to cry.
Wow. I've never heard you react to anything like that.
We signed Wilson Contreras to play catcher, and then next year he's going to be the corner outfielder.
And then Randy and Rocky were telling me because I get texts during the show, and I said this to Randy. I go, well, I get a bunch of texts saying you guys are homers. Hell, I don't know. I'm in a closet next to a toilet for the time you're on the show, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Right. And I go, but they were saying the fans were mad that you were talking about the Brad Thompson thing. I'm like, well, Brad Thompson isn't like a guy with 2 followers on Twitter. I mean, he's the voice of the Cardinals television broadcast along with Chip Carey. I mean, and he's saying this. Right. He's not coming off half-cocked. That's the thing I said about it yesterday when we played it. Point being, it's got some credibility. So they were mad that people were talking. I guess it's kind of like the Arenado thing earlier this year that he would okay a trade to the Dodgers, and people were mad that it was being reported. I'm like, you can't pick and choose what's true just because you don't like it.
Right.
Now, I realize that is the way that things are currently operating in media, and then consumers of media, well, I don't like it, so now I'm going to attack the reporter or the host because I don't like it, and then I'm going to damage their credibility. Mizzou fans with Brett McMurphy last year when he reported Missouri was ducking KU in the Liberty Bowl. Yeah. And then Kansas's coach a couple weeks ago brought it up again.
Yeah, Lance Leopold got us.
I'm a Missouri fan, but if you ask me to bet $1,000 whether or not they ducked him, my thousands all day they ducked him. But you know what? I understand why they ducked him. I digress.
I have a true son clause in my contract, so I can't comment.
You can't comment on it. The listeners are correct. Now, it's just a matter of who we put in there, because the listeners brought Brett Cecil and Mike Leake to the table. Now, a lot of you, Matt Carpenter extension, I agree, but Matt Carpenter, for my money, wasn't a free agent, so I can't count that, because that was Bizarro World. When that happened, when I got the release that was happening, I go, what are they doing? So it was not results-oriented. A lot of people said Dexter Fowler. I think if you're going to look at deals that actually were damaging to the franchise and or will continue to be damaging to the franchise, I think Leake and Cecil have to be in there. I mean, Mike Leake pitched 1 year here, and then the Cardinals paid him $6 million to pitch for the Mariners in what? 18, 19, and 20.
Oh.
I mean, what in God's name? They paid $15 million for him to pitch for the Mariners, and he pitched here for 1 year. The Brett Cecil thing, there are some guys, I think, I don't know this, who once they get the big hit, the contract that is, they just go, that'll wrap her on up. And you were observing the pictures of Brett Leak when he was with Toronto and when Brett Leak got to St. Louis.
Brett Cecil, yeah.
Brett Leak, Cecil, perfect. Brett Cecil.
I got a little confused there.
And you say he looked like he might have bulked up.
You know.
Like he got some treats.
He might have enjoyed some of St. Louis's finest culinary dishes.
He's a guy who just strikes me as once he got the money, he's like, I'm good. And then I got to put Contreras in there. And I have always been a Tino Martinez. And it's not anti-Contreras. My Contreras thing, the Contreras thing's a very interesting, polarizing thing. It's kind of like the Sam Bradford thing, which I lived through. Drink, yes. It's like it can't be. It can't be, so we won't let it be. And then 5 years from now, it'll be like everybody was saying, yeah, the Contreras thing, holy crap. Like, if you can't see this as being a problem, we're just not on the same page on how you view problems.
Right.
You cannot say our only top priority this offseason is to get a catcher, and then 2 months into the season, the man is pulled from the position, and you allocated $80+ million to him.
The amount of money is what is the...
Because it will have an impact for years to come, which is why I chose Cecil and Leak over Danny Jackson, who was only a 3-year deal, and Tino Martinez. And the team did... he did play, then they eventually shipped him off and paid some of his salary to the Rays, but it was a short-term deal. The Contreras, listen, here's what I'm telling you. This is what I want to tell you. Yeah. And then I got to go.
Yeah. And
you're going to stick around with BK and Ferrari to update him on the Dame time.
No, apparently I'm not welcome.
Wow. This is like, let's start talking about winter in November. It's just starting. Okay?
Yeah.
If you enjoyed it this year, that's fine. Let's make sure we come back together in a couple of years and say, hey, you still enjoying the Contreras contract?
Okay. Yeah, I'm in.
You're in.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll be there.
Because this is much of a lock, and he's still going to hit. I got no problem with that. That's not what they signed him for, though.
Right. They signed
That's what we got to have the whole conversation. God, I'm getting upset about sports.
I love it.
Thank you. It's 11 o'clock. I got to go. That's Action Jackson. I'm Tim McKernan. This has been Balloon Party, driven by Mung and St. Louis Acura. Norton Toyota 101 ESPN.